Hello and welcome to Accurate Data Vibes. I am Petr Mahdalíček, founder and CEO of data solution companies that assist businesses with their data-related challenges. It's been my privilege to converse with data experts, and I am thrilled to have you join us today. Together, we'll delve into crucial data topics and we'll navigate the maze of data issues to come up with guidance for you. So, let's get started on this exciting journey of data discovery.
Hello, welcome to the third episode of Data Vibes. Today I invited Martin Kavřík, Head of Data at Notino, and we will discuss how data-driven insights makes e-commerce even more successful. Hello Martin, welcome and thank you for joining.
Hi Peter, and thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. For those who doesn't know Notino is a super successful e-commerce company that started its journey in Czech Republic back in 2004 as a e-shop that focused mainly on selling perfumes. And just recently, it was announced that they made it to the number 9 in the top 500 cross-border retail Europe list. In this list, you can find only the global giants like IKEA, Lego, Zara, and even a company like Adidas is one position behind Notino. So the first, most logical question, Martin, is what role plays data in this huge success?
Well, that's a good question. And as we can expect, the role is really crucial. As an e-commerce company, we have a lot of challenges and a lot of disadvantages in comparison with other retailers, like traditional retailers with a lot of brick and mortar stores. On the other hand, we have a lot of advantages in comparison with them, and availability of data and ability to analyze data and use the data for process improvements and for higher effectivity. It's really important for us. So the data are crucial.
Actually, I can imagine how much data you have and how many systems and how many sources. So, but from the business perspective, so why you decided to invest and to collect and analyze data?
Well, there is a lot of really crucial processes on our side, coming from recommendation of the products on our websites, processes like automatic purchasing from our partners, or setting the right price and at right moment, logistic processes optimization, and so on. So all of those really crucial processes for us as an e-commerce company, all of them can be really improved through the data analysis and through the process analysis. So that's the reason why a couple of years ago we really decided in Notino to invest into it and create a data office department. At this moment consists of 60 people really focusing on the process optimization and for the process automation.
Okay, thank you. Maybe the next logical question would be, so if you have basically data everywhere, and if you have so many use cases, how do you prioritize these use cases? Because I can imagine that everybody is making pressure on each of this process because they are very crucial. So how do you deal with the prioritization of these use cases?
Yes, so we try to identify the key processes in the company and try to calculate the potential which is in that optimization of that processes. So the product purchase, product pricing, recommendation, number of orders prediction, and so on. And we always try to calculate the potential which we have there, and then we try to find the proper proper employees who can manage with that, or who can focus on that particular topic. So our idea is have enough people focusing on that crucial processes, and basically we are trying not to prioritize them, because we know that we must to solve them properly, and we are prioritizing rather the tier 2 initiatives, like ideas, new processes, new things. So there we are trying, that's the point where we are trying to prioritize them.
I see. So can you tell me what was the biggest challenge during the, let's say, last year or two?
Mm-hmm. So the biggest challenge in general was to gain trust from the business people, because all of those things must happen in cooperation between us, let's say more IT mathematics guys, and between the business who is responsible for the processes. The crucial point and the most difficult point isn't to invent the process, but to pursue the business people really believe in that process and keep them using it, and believing in an added value which that automated process brings them.
I see. So can you describe how do you, let's say, make the business people believe in the data and in the data-driven processes?
It usually happens with a clear definition of what should be the result of particular process. So we are describing the process we would like to optimize. We define the key metrics on that, and based on that rules, after some times, we are showing them the improvements. Or if it is possible, we always try to run some simulation in advance, saying, hey, if we will do it in that way, we can achieve these results. And the trust is gained through the fulfilling of those expectations. It's usually not happen for the first time, but once, twice, for 3 times, if you fulfill what you promised in advance, that's how you gain the trust at the end.
I see. Thank you. So I'm basically talking a little bit about the future. So what challenge do you see in the upcoming year?
In upcoming year, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I just want to say that I guess it will again be bounded with the growth and the success that you showed in the last year as Notino. So do you see there some big challenges, or are you working on solving those that you are, let's say, having at this moment?
Mm-hmm. As you mentioned, the growth, that's probably the biggest problem for us, because as the growth is really high, it's quite tough to manage everything around. So be able to manage the 30% growth, you have to have proper capacity in your warehouses. You must purchase adequate amount of products for our customers. So there is a huge area around automation of purchases and predicting different regression problems, like number of orders, number of products which will be sold. So that's probably the biggest area for us for upcoming year, because in that area everything is joined together. If I can rightly predict the amount of products which will be sold in particular time, I can calculate the amount of workforce which we need in our particular warehouses, so the guys here are able to proceed those orders. If I can predict the amount of products, I can purchase them in advance, so I can avoid outages. And to be able to do that, I have to be able to make a connection between the amount of sold products and the proper pricing. and I need to make predictions based on the recommendation engine and amount of views of particular products on our websites. So I need to cover this complex scenario and create a fully interconnected model, which is calculating with all those things to be really valuable for end users. And that's a challenge for us in upcoming year, or maybe in 2.
So you basically describe every corner in your company, I guess, that every corner is touching the data and depends the success on the data. Did I answer it correctly?
Yes, basically, okay. Yes.
Okay. So can you maybe share a little bit about the inventory management? So for instance, so how do you use data to manage the inventory more efficiently?
For sure. So the key point is already mentioned the prediction. A prediction of particular product or SKU. I need to know how many of those products will be sold in particular time period. If that prediction is good, then I can make an inventory management right, because I can prepare the right products in right place in a warehouse, so I can avoid inefficiency in picking those products to fulfill an orders, and I can avoid the outages of those products, so the customers are still able to buy it. And the other thing is that sorry, I just lost the idea. But it's basically about
all the time.
Yeah. Sorry for that. That's everything is about the prediction, because through that, I catch your point. So I know the products which will be solved. So then through that, I can prepare the warehouse, the setting of the warehouse in proper way, so that I can fulfill the orders. And on the warehouse level, I can optimize the processes. Which product should be picked for which particular order, and through that I can manage the problem with expiration dates of those products, so I can avoid the distract or the like removing the products to the trash.
I see. So basically, we are getting back that everything is connected with everything, because I guess that the expiration date is connected then to the pricing. So that, and then it's to the warehouse. Absolutely. And everything.
Yes, absolutely, okay. Absolutely.
So it's really like super complex topic to manage the data. You mentioned many times the prediction. So can you dive a little bit deeper into what predictions and how you do the predictions? Let's say what products will be sold, or what will be what orders should come.
Mm-hmm. So in fact, it's a kind of regression problem. So it's some kind of time series, and you would like to predict. The problem is, and I am pretty sure that it's a problem for every single e-commerce company, that there is a very different level of purchases for different SKUs. So you can have a one single model which is good for every single SKU. You have SKUs with thousands purchases every single day, and then you have a lot of products with singles purchases over the week. So you have to use different models for different portfolio. So that's how we are. It's probably not, there is probably no sense to go deeply into which model we are using, in which particular part of the SKUs. But that's one of the biggest challenge. Different model for different SKUs, because every single SKUs can have a little bit different descriptors. So that's the first point, and the second one is for how long you would like to do the prediction, because you can have a really precise information about the price for a short period. For 1, 2, 3 weeks, you have quite a precise information about the price with which you will sell the products to the customers. You can't have it for 2 months or 3 months prediction period, but you need to have this prediction period to purchase a product, to buy a product from our partners like L'Oreal, Dior, and so on. And then you must have a 1 year information, because you have to log the capacity of your partners in advance. So you must say, hey, we will need 1 million La Vie Belle's perfumes for the next financial years, because otherwise you will not get it. So the time period is a problematic, and type of the product and the purchase of the product is a little bit problematic. And basically, you need to have a model for every single combination of that.
I see. And mentioning the time period, so let's say, for how long do you work, or how far in the past do you work with the history of data? Because I guess that to predict the future, it's needed to know the past. So can you tell me this model? So they are working with typically months or years back?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as the data was crucial in Notino from its beginning, so we do have a whole history. That's mm-hmm. Great. Of course, what happened 10 years ago is not so important for what will happen in the next month. So in general, we have a whole history. Of course, you have to adapt the model and gain the information from it. So basically, we are using something like 1-2 year history, mostly for the calculation of seasonality, which makes sense. Of course, with some particular marketing campaigns effectivity. So we are using it because we are not doing the same campaign again and again. So we are using maybe in 3-4 years, but rather only for the calculation of the effect of that particular campaign.
I see. Which leads me basically, I see that we get the first question from the audience. So how you implement price scrapping and ensure competitive price for the products, if you can share such information with us.
Well, it's probably not a secret that every single e-commerce company is watching their competitors. We know that our competitors are checking Notino the same. We are checking them. So for the price of the products in the on competitor sites, we are using some available information from the third-party company, which we are using for that, and we are somehow checking the price of the products in competitors' websites and changing our strategy based on that. It's not of course, it's not the only input. We have our own goals, our own strategies, our own targets. But of course, we are following the data available to do it right and be able to fulfill our targets.
Okay, so talking about the competitive price, and I believe that you mentioned also the dynamic pricing, which is one of the use case. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you calculate and what do you use actually to calculate the dynamic pricing, and how it is, let's say, used in the reality, or if it's just for testing and checking these what if scenarios?
Mm-hmm. So the ultimate team, the ultimate goal for the dynamic pricing is to automate the process. So do not rely on doing it manually. That's the first point. The second point is that with a good model, we are able to really control the process. So we are using the people rather saying, hey, we would like to we would like to process this particular strategy, and it's always easier to do it through the model parameterization than through explaining it to tens different people. And it's simply easier, and it's more about the business control. So that's our ultimate goal for the dynamic pricing. And we are using the knowledge of a seasonality. We are using the knowledge of the marketing campaign effects. We are trying to incorporate into that the price decrease because of that expiration dates, as you mentioned, and so on.
I see. Basically, all these use cases leads me to the question. It must be enormous amount of data, and to make it work, the data must be available, I would say, almost on the fly. So do you feel some challenges like that? You are getting the data too late, and basically this was also the question that I wanted to ask. If all of you are talking here about are the, say, real life scenarios, or if it's like half with say, testing how it should work in the future, but it's not working yet.
So most of the things I already mentioned are already in production. Of course, we can always think and talk about the quality. It's in a production, in particular quality, which we openly and transparently always communicate to our business owners. And we are trying to make an iteration and improve the quality if we can see the potential. Because very often you are able to simulate, if I would know this particular information, what effect it would have in a future for a particular model. So that's something what we are trying to simulate first and find the potential if there it is. So that's the first thing. And the second one, I would definitely mention probably not the availability of the data from a time perspective. The bigger challenge for us is the data quality, how to ensure that the data we are consuming in our data science models are accurate and are correct. That's bigger issue for us. I think that in Notino, it's on really high quality, but still we know the particular blind spots or the particular problematic spots which we have to solve. The way how we are trying to do that is with the communication with the business owners, because we strongly believe that the data quality begins on data ownership from a business people, because those business peoples are the best source of information about which metric we need to focus on. So those business people are cooperating with us in terms of a definition of what we would like to follow. Then the other side is about the cooperation with our colleagues in IT departments, so the guys who are really operating the core systems, providing us the data. So we have a business definition, we have a cooperation with the colleagues who are responsible for data creation in those source systems, and that's about the cooperation of guys in my team in a BI, as we are downloading those data from the source systems and visualizing them in a manner as the business defines the metrics. So that's the process how we would like to achieve this data quality. It's all about the cooperation between those three parts.
I have to admit that I was actually very surprisingly, very surprised when I saw how you deal with data quality, what are your plans, because it's not a secret that we already work together. And I have to say that this approach I seen in the most mature companies, and was not really expecting it in the e-commerce. So congratulations for choosing this, I would say not easy, but very, very good approach. I see that we get another question, so let's go to that. As how do you tackle the outside factors that impacts the demand significantly, such as COVID or challenging economy in 2023?
Well, so the biggest issue, I know that it sounds like badly because it was definitely a tragedy for the people in general, for the e-commerce, like let's say it as it was. So for us, it helped us. It helped us a lot as the brick and mortar stores were closed. So regarding the amount of sales, it really helped. So for the best, or let's say the worst, how you can describe is that it was like the best marketing strategy ever for the e-commerce business. And so for us, it was really difficult to get the products. It was probably the biggest issue. So on one side, and on other side, our warehouses were affected with that COVID scenario as well. So it was crucial for us to manage the safeness of our people working in the warehouse, and keep the capacity of delivering the orders to our customers. So that was the one really difficult part for us. And the second one was to get the products, so have the products on stock, because a lot of those distribution chains were disrupted, and it was in some period of time it was really hard to get the products from our partners.
Talking about supply chain and basically how to get the products to the customers, as Notino is a Europe-wide player, so how do you use data basically to optimize the supply chain of the products?
It's basically what I said before through that prediction. I need to know how many of products I need. If that information is correct, based on that, everything else is somehow derivated. So I can transfer the products between the warehouses. I can prepare the warehouse in a proper way. And so basically, like, everything is based on that kind of prediction. That's why we are really focusing on that topic at this moment.
Again, I have to say that what's in my head is that everything is connected, and the business is super complex and super sensitive to, as you mentioned, high data quality and good data being available at the right moment. I would actually like to ask much more questions, but our time is slowly but surely almost up. So maybe one last question from the people who are watching us. Before that, Martin, so what would you be, let's say, from your perspective, the biggest added value the data brings to Notino? So where it helps the most from your perspective?
Yeah, so the biggest value I definitely see in money, because it's a business. So and the advantage is that you can really estimate the effect. You can really say, hey, if you automate the process in that way, the process is this way better. If I just maybe one last example regarding the logistic. We analyzed the data and found out the group of products which we can use to easily pick the products which we need to easily fulfill the orders of our customers. So we identify quite a small group of products through which we are able to fulfill quite a high amount of orders. So just through the quick analysis, we were able to decrease the cost of delivering those significant amount of orders to our customers. So the effectivity of the whole logistic process increased. We work on that with our colleagues in IT, and I think that this particular project is like really success. To us, it cost nothing. It was only about the data analysis, and through that, we were able to 4 times decrease the price of collecting and sending of 15-20% of orders to our customers. So for us, it was like really success.
Amazing. So Martin, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you and Rotino lots of success also in the upcoming years. I'm sure that we will meet soon again. And I also would like to thank the people who ask questions from the audience. And I will invite another guest next time, and will let you all know. So Martin, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you for inviting me, and good luck for future.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.